One.
Good morning, Writing 393. This is Professor Anderson with a quick heads up on Wednesday, October the 2nd. This is the day that your first post for your discussions are due. And let me just give you a quick little synopsis of what is expected for your first discussion. Now, first of all, there are two of them today, and both of them by midnight tonight, Wednesday, October the 2nd, your post is due. So if I take a look at this first discussion topic, you are to examine a set of poorly written instructions. Oh, I apologize. I'm not managing through this very clearly here. So when you look through this set of poorly written instructions that I can't quite get to, you'll know where to find it. It's inside the content section for week 1. You want to take a look at these two web pages, Strategies for Developing Instructions and David McMurray, Instructions Tell Them How to Do It. And then you want to access how to use your Sony Digital Voice Recorder. That's at the bottom of the content in week 1. Now, the basics of what you're looking for are really outlined here in what is technical writing, each one of these pieces of resources to peruse. And the most important portion is called that proximity. And the concepts behind technical writing, this great definition here, it's nonfiction writing to targeting a specific audience for a specific purpose. So that's really the big piece of meat out of that individual resource. This video gives you a great understanding, and it really a great understanding of what proximity means. And if you take a look inside of there, you'll note that there are 4 concepts of what proximity relates to, and they're very visual. And they are the concept of proximity, relating like items within a textual reference, alignment of similar information, repetition of format and application of font and style and color, and then contrast, which is making certain that separate objects have distinguishable features from one another. The basics of this particular tutorial is make certain that your eye easily flows through the information and understands, without it being written, the difference of information inside of your document. So there's some great examples of how menus. There's several great examples of using these 4 design principles: proximity, alignment, repetition, and contrast within menus that will really give you an understanding of what this concept of proximity means. Now, so that's the big chunk of information out of that resource. And then this next resource, features and documents designs. I love it here. These principles of page design: balance, proportion, flow, alignment, repetition, dominance of an emphasis, simplicity, and unity. Again, you see those 4 design principles reiterated here. It's how does the eye flow through a document? Is it chunked and scrunched all together? Does it have a pathway for your eye to follow and read through that set of instructions? That is the basic understanding of technical writing. If you're writing to a specific audience for a specific purpose, let's take, for example, putting together a shelving piece of information, or putting together a set of shelves that you bought in a box from, say, a store that you have to assemble the shelves. If it were written in paragraph form, I would be going crazy, because that's not following through the structure of the assembly of that unit. So instead, those instructions are written step 1, step 2, and the like. That's one example of how technical writing walks a certain targeted audience. In that example, the individual that needs their shelves put together, through a specific task, assembling the shelf. You may have done this in grade school, where you had to maybe your teacher brought in a loaf of bread and a jar of peanut butter and a jar of jelly and a knife and said, write directions on how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And that's kind of a very typical American technical writing piece in elementary school. And perhaps you said, put the peanut butter on the bread. And your teacher may have just picked up the jar and put it on top of the bread. And to help illustrate to you the concept that you need to open the jar, use the knife, scoop some peanut butter out, giving those very specific, detailed instructions. That's one component of technical writing. So this week, what you need to do is take a look at Again, here my computer's a little slow this morning. It's just waking up. 1, a set of poorly written instructions, and comment on that. Make certain to comment on that by tonight at midnight. And then 2, take a look at this particular set of instructions, preparing your 4/4 cello for its first use, and answer these individual questions. You are looking at very specific elements of that technical writing. Post that by midnight tonight, October the 2nd. And then I look forward to walking you through the rest of the week tomorrow.